Yes.
Shows. What musical crossover going to happen?
There will be music. It won't be a musical, but there will be. I mean, you've heard Victor Garber speak. I mean, you can imagine the voice on that man. So yeah, there'll be show tunes this season. I don't know. I mean, doing a fully musical episode. Let's wait a season. I'd rather do animated, or I'd rather do the quiet episode. I'd rather do MOS before we do music.
Yeah, you inherited a very big development for Sarah from Arrow when Laurel died.
Yeah.
How did you learn that that was happening and get the chance to address it via Legends?
Well, you know, luckily we have Mark on the show, so we have a direct line of communication. You know, they work 50 feet from our office. You know, it's great. Things like that are great. Complications are your friend. When you're writing television, that's like grist for the mill. Giving her, you know, an entirely different agenda in season 2. There's nothing better. And it really, you know, it helped ground season 2, which is all about, you know, fixing these time aberrations, which are fun, rompy, going to various, you know, it's nice to leaven that with like actual heartbreak, because you know that's the trick to our show. It can get too silly, and every time it gets too silly, you have to ground it with some real pathos. And anytime it has too much pathos, you're like, this is a time travel show. Why are we taking it so seriously? So it's a very strange tone, because you want it to be real, you want these characters to be real at the same time. You know, it's absurd, you know, and it's that trick of having the people feel real, and yet the adventures are obviously larger than life and completely crazy.
So yeah. With the JSA coming in at the end of the last in the finale, will we spend season 2 mostly in the future?
No. I mean, we will go to the future, but for me, the fun of doing a time travel show is it passes something we already know what it looks like, and taking people to iconic eras. Like, I thought the Wild West worked very, very well. I mean, you know, playing with genre, like the Joe Dante episode 108, where they went back to the 50s, you know, that B-movie.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, just living in a recognizable genre is what I think our show does best, because every aesthetic choice is then informed by, you know, to the clothes, to the attitudes, to the story, subject matter, you know, and you can take on serious things like we did sexuality with the closeted, you know, gay nurse. We did racism with Jax being, you know, sort of, you know, picked on by the local, you know, high school kids, and you know, so to me, re-examining the history of our country and our world that's the fun of the show, and the sort of what-if moments. You know, what if, you know, something had happened a little differently on Dallas in 1963, or you know what, you know. So we will be doing these iconic historical moments with recognizable historical figures, because to me, you know, we had little things with, like, you know, H.G. Wells, and we had a little shout out to Bill Gates at a certain point, but like season 2, you're going to see the icons of the 20th century, and you know, you're going to have those versions of the Forrest Gump kind of moments with our guys, you know, trying to fix history, but at the same time getting to play a part in these recognizable, you know, eras.
Well, we obviously want to bring into this and talk about the 4-show crossover.
Yeah.
And then we know it's going to happen. Have you ever reached out, thought about a crossover with another production company, say, Doctor Who?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Who knows what the lawyers would spend a lifetime trying to do that. Yeah, that's. I mean, I tune in.
Yeah.
You mentioned what-if moments. Do you know anything about how the events of season 2 of The Flash will impact on season 2 of Legends?
Yeah, you know, I believe we haven't actually broken it yet, but obviously that, you know, that's the nexus for our crossovers. I imagine. You know, I wish, you know, in a week from now we'll have broken that. So I wish I could say more. But yeah, our show has largely been uncoupled from the other shows. But I think you know, this season we'd like to bring them back together more often. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the different time periods?
Yeah.
Could you tease maybe?
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to wrap him.
Okay, cool. I mean, within the pilot, we will do deep prehistory. We will do, you know, we'll find. I mean, it's like a, you know, we will touch on a handful of places that you have never ever been to on network television or otherwise. So it's like, yeah, and we'll spend the rest of the season trying to pay for it.
Dinosaurs?
I like the way you think.